Blessed love to each and every one. Give thanks for your presence with us. We glorify and Haile Selassie. All doing the same. Give thanks to the Black Christ in flesh, the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. Give thanks to Marcus Garvey, the Holy Three in One and One in Three, the Prophet, Priest, and King. King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. I definitely welcome you into the nest, the Tiger's Nest, going into a Sabbath day. We're just going to hold one of our special Chalice talks. In fact, the Chalice talks just tend to carry us where the spirit, flows and goes. But I want to talk today about the upcoming resurrection celebration for us as Bobo Shanti and how it is so significant with the Emperor of Ethiopia becoming emperor, because the 2nd of April is, the day that is resurrection day for us. They call Good Friday. And interestingly, that is the day, the 2nd of April, when the Emperor Haile Selassie became the emperor. So that is something we'll be going into. If it sounds a bit, I don't understand what he's saying, don't worry, I'll explain, but you should. But remember, this is Chalice Talk. Previous Chalice Talk, we were showing you how to put the chalice together. Those of you who would have ordered your chalice from that time, your chalice would be on the way. Even as I speak, at least they definitely have been mailed out. So for sure, all of you who are interested in getting your chalices, it doesn't have to be as big as mine. It could be a little neater. In fact, we usually send out some neater one. If you want a big ancient chalice, well, it's just up to you. You just have to, say what your heart desires. But for sure, you could order your chalice, the full chalice cup. This is already gauged, so I'm not gauging it again today. I did a whole program on that. It's already packed. Everything is well secure. So all we have to do is to light and get into our reasoning today. So definitely contact me. You know how to contact me. It's Priest Isaac, Priest Isaac 27 at gmail.com. Email me. People would link me up on Facebook and these different places. I'm telling you again, if you want, I don't come here telling you link me on Facebook. Please, if you want to link me, Priest Isaac 27 at gmail.com. I don't even want to get into it because some people just leave some rude comments, and I don't want to start. But when I start, I just get real red, and I don't want to go into that. You see, my mood already is just pure light and everything. I don't want to go there. But people would contact you, and people would tell, oh, I contacted you since yesterday, and you're always on Facebook and you're not answering me. Man, them things just get me red. If you want to get me upset, just give me them kind of children's talk. I don't know if children even talk like that. Man, them is immature discussion. Man, I'm a serious man. I do many things. Many, many, many things. Sometimes I don't know what you doing on Facebook. Let me just show you something. People will be on Facebook scrolling down. I don't want nobody who is quote unquote friends with me on Facebook to be offended. But I do not scroll down and watch people things. I cannot tell when last I've been on what they call the home page on a Facebook stuff and be scrolling up to see what people say. I actually don't do that. So when you think you see me on Facebook, sometimes it's not even me, man. Listen, do I look like I have time to be on Facebook? In fact, remember, I have businesses that have Facebook pages, like Rastafari Experience Antigua, the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. They have Facebook pages, Instagram pages. That doesn't necessarily mean that I personally am the one managing them. You understand the point I'm making, man? I'm not a child. I'm not a child. You understand? I don't know what many of you have to do in your life and the time that you have to waste on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever else. But that is not me. So don't be saying, oh, you gave a number on something and I'm calling the number and I got someone else. Let me repeat. If you want to talk to me, I'm giving you the opportunity to contact me directly. You want to talk to me personally? Priest Isaac 27 at gmail.com. Don't be calling a number. Come on. This may not be an example that you like, but if you call Trump's Plaza or Trump's Tower and you don't get Donald Trump, you're gonna be vexed. And this is why we even do programs like Mind Your Own Business, so we can have a business mentality. It's a business mentality we have. But you have not you really, I know who I'm talking. But some of us, we have that mentality. Oh, you see a number. Sometimes you see 2 and 3. Oh, I tried to WhatsApp you. What you talking about? What you talking about? So I'm telling you, hoping that some of us can mature when it comes to these things. Even if you email me, trust me, don't email me in the morning. And then when I come in the evening and say, let me check my email, you're going to say, oh, I've been emailing you since this morning. This is so unprofessional. You don't want me to get unprofessional. So some of us, remember, this is a school room. All of this is a part of the teaching, because it may sound funny to some, but everyone is not on the same mature level. Sometimes you have to teach people these little simple things, as we move on as a family. But anyway, as I said, you want to talk to me? Because I give people time. Freesize27@gmail.com. I don't turn down people. I don't neglect people. If you send me an email and maybe even a whole week pass and you don't get a response, especially if it's something that, you may be just saying a word, don't worry, you'll be surprised one day you just wake up and see me talking to you. Say, hey, I can't believe it. And that's what people tell me. I couldn't believe when you responded, because I'm a genuine person, This is what you see us doing here is a work of love. This is a work of love. So we consider even the people that listen to us and try to reach out to us. We consider your feelings and your intentions. Come on, man, we're not heartless. But at the same time, you gotta approach me with respect. With respect. You can't just come anyhow. And I'm not even going into it, because some people, they would reach out with some levels of disrespect. You think I say anything here? But anyway, give thanks. So that's just a word. Maybe it needed to be said, so it was said. So for sure, it definitely get your chalice. And remember, the chalice is very necessary for, of course, our upcoming hike, 3-day hike. Well, 2 days of hiking and 1 day of the marijuana tour. Now, I went to Ras Freeman today. I took some videos, but I didn't do such a good camera work with the videos. In fact, boy, I'm telling you, you may even laugh at me, but some of these videos actually came out upside down. I'm telling you the truth. Anyway, let me just show you a bit of what I have here, just to give you a little idea. Oh my, this is me doing a little filming, but it's up. Yeah, Rastafari live. Yeah, so give thanks, my brothers and sisters. Blessed love, just giving you an idea, taking a look at the cultivation right here, Greencastle Hill. I don't know how many of you will be with us on Thursday. It's actually this Thursday coming up, the 18th. That's the 18th day of March. This Thursday, the 18th day of March. You're going to spend about an hour and a half to 2 hours with us right here at Ras Freeman. You're going to be talking to the elders. You'll be seeing the different strains of marijuana. This is just a touch of it. These are just plants in a pot. I'm just giving you an idea of what is taking place in a few moments. Yes, and my finger in the way and all of that unprofessionalism there. Oh my. All right, that's how it is. But anyway, we'll be sipping a cup or two. Yeah, make sure you get your chalice as well. That's the fire. No, this is oil. Oh, you're making the ganja oil? So I'm here with some elders here making some Bingy Skin Man herb oil. Preparing some marijuana ganja oil. This is just one of the methods that is used to prepare the ganja oil. They have different methods and different ways of putting it together. But we have, as I said, Honorable Bingy Skin, just preparing it on the natural wood fire. Yes, right here at Ras Freeman. Yes, Bingy Skin, just bless up the people and let them see you.
Yeah, man.
Rastafari.
Selassie, you know?
Give thanks unto him.
Yeah, this island, powerful island, you know?
Mm.
This island, a lot of people use, like when you have
Right.
coal in the lungs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this one help to release the lungs,
Yes, I.
free up the lungs, you know? And a lot of people really request the isle right now.
Right.
So I decided I will keep on make this island.
And this come from the herb that we plant, right?
Yes.
Ras free, man.
Yes.
Yeah, give thanks. Life give and the
It's a
keep
very
up.
powerful isle. Even a lady right now who she even have breast cancer
Mm.
and she could not move around too much.
Right.
But right now she can move around because of the same isle that she used.
Yes, I. No
And
pause.
even in she garden right now, she penetrate she garden hard where she couldn't do. Everybody believe that she couldn't even go back to work. You know, so right now she garden and plant a lot of food just because of the same isle that we
Same
make
ganja
it.
oil. Yes,
Yeah,
I.
so
Rastafari.
a lot of
Healing.
people request it right now. A lot of people even with asthma
Yeah, man.
that even come to I and tell I that the IL work good for them. Like if they get tight chest and anything, they just take a little sip of the IL
Yeah, man.
and in a few seconds
True,
they
man.
just start feeling the relief for the, you know.
Yeah, man. It's the healing of the nation. Give
Yeah,
thanks,
man.
Rastafari. Yes, Allah. Blessed love, eh?
Yeah, man. So that's it.
Rastafari. Give thanks.
All right. And that's the man Bingy Skin. Remember, this is in Antigua, eh? Ras Freeman, Antigua. This is the Nyabingi Grounds community in Antigua. And let me just explain this. The reason why we're having a marijuana education lecture and tour, and why this is something we invite people to come to Antigua and see live, is only because of the corona and the COVID business why we are doing this virtually and virtually alone because of travel restriction. Maybe where you are, you're free to come, but when you come here, it's so many different things, and I don't want to go into that now. I've been explaining that for a while now, so most of you would understand what I'm saying here. But what it is, remember that in Antigua, just in case you don't know, of course, marijuana is not legal in most places in the world, but in some places it has been quote unquote decriminalized. Antigua is one of those places. But the Rastafari community, established communities in Antigua, have been given immunity as it relates to the growing and the harvesting of the marijuana. So that is why it's not just being grown. As you could see, we are creating industry. As you saw, Jaskin, that's his name, Bingy Jaskin, creating the marijuana oil. And let me just give you a little clip. So those of you who have already bought your electronic tickets or have already, pardon me, received your receipts for this weekend's event. Now, this weekend, I don't mean this Sabbath, the 18th, Thursday the 18th, that's the day we will have the marijuana tour, Thursday the 18th. I'm just giving you some clips. I don't mean recordings of the marijuana tour. No, remember, this is going to be live, the Cannabis Sativa lecture tour, live. It's about 1 in the afternoon, Thursday the 18th. And what it is, you just sit down wherever you are. If you're at the park, if you're home, if you're at the job, you just sit in, and we will be showing you, myself, Brother Rastri, Brother Isaiah, Brother Skin, and some other Rastafari. We'll be carrying you through the garden live and direct. You understand? And you will be getting the idea. You'll see the people who are cleaning the herb, how they prepare the herb, the packaging of the herb. Big business going on right here in Antigua. This ain't no little joke around there. And I'm giving you a chance to see that live. That's just one of the tours. Plus, of course, the two hikes, the Greencastle Hill, amongst the megaliths. The morning hike, the Friday, and the evening hike, Sunday, the 21st, which is the day of the equinox. And if you missed it, the tickets are now just for $100. Remember that full package, that's almost 6 to 7 hours worth of knowledge, vibes, entertainment, Nyabingi music, up the hill, down the hill, megaliths, historians, herbal physicians, Rastafari culture, marijuana, this teachings, that teachings, trust me, it is worth the $120 package that we have it for. But we have slashed off the $20 and now the package is just $100. For which day? Which day? For all 3 days, for Thursday the 18th, Friday the 19th, and Sunday the 21st. You just pay $100. You will obviously get your receipt, proof of purchase, and you will get your key to enter into the online room. So you could be right there as we stream everything live to you. Let me just give you a little more example of what's going on here at Ras Free. This is actually today.
Rastafari live forevermore.
Yeah,
give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, you know? Showing you the beauty of the tree of life.
Let me explain, this is not no hidden work. This is not somewhere in the jungle and somebody's going to say, hey, why are you filming my stuff? Why are you filming my stuff? We invite the nation television, the nation station to come and film this. The Prime Minister I could pull up the videos for you. The Prime Minister of the island has come and inspected the stuff. Police daily would pass through the camp and sit down and hold a little breeze and hold some other stuff to straight up. That's what's going on. So this is not the hidden edition. This is just a little bit down the hill. I mean, it's acres and acres and acres and acres of marijuana. Man, when you join us for that tour, you
abundance. Give thanks. Selassie. Yes. Yeah, so give thanks, Honorable Prince. The young trees are coming. One's in the yard doing some works here. This is how it is in the Rastafari community, here in Antigua. Marijuana, ganja, the tree of life. And it's all about industry right about now.
Let me see what happens next. Oh, this is one of our super plants. Well, I could tell you straight up. I mean, obviously I would do some cultivating too. Right, obviously. And this is one of my gems I'm looking at here. But I guess through the camera you're not seeing the fullness. But don't worry, man. Don't judge my camera work. When we do it on Friday, on Thursday, and on Sunday, yours truly is not going to be the cameraman. In fact, it's going to be a camera Sister Soldier. Sister Soldier from Sister Soldier Productions will definitely be handling this. And so this is, the best quality you'll be getting, streaming and everything. This is definitely something for you to look into. Yes, this is definitely wonderful. A little preview, of exactly what is taking place live and direct. As you could hear, everything is live and direct. This ain't no studio work. This ain't no action or nothing. I'll be showing you everything in a few moments. I'll be carrying you to the field and showing you the different strains and just giving you an idea. So all of you who will be joining us live and direct on Thursday, for sure, you'll be seeing it live. This is a recording you're getting here, but you'll be seeing it live and direct, speaking to the elders, speaking to the rasses, and we'll be sipping a cup or two. Yeah, make sure you get your chalice. Holy Manuel,
Right here with Bingy Skin Man, preparing some marijuana ganja oil. This is just one of the methods that is used to prepare the ganja oil. They have different methods and different ways of putting it together. But we have, as I said, Honorable Bingy Skin, just preparing it on the natural wood fire. Yes, right here at Ras Freeman. Yes, Bingy Skin, just bless up the people and let us see it.
Yeah, man.
Rastafari.
Selassie,
Give thanks unto him.
Yeah, this island, powerful island, This island that a lot of people use like when you have cold
Right.
in the lungs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this one help to release the lungs,
Yes, I.
free up the lungs, you know, and a lot of people really request the eye right now.
Right.
And of course, we're talking about the Corona killer at the same time. Yeah, give thanks. You know, the Lenten period, and of course, again, uh, precise27@gmail.com. And in fact, you can make your payments for those who will be buying their ticket for those 3 events. You could make your payment using the Cash App. Remember that. So you can utilize the Cash App, and the link for the Cash App is just at the bottom of this video here. So it's not a problem. Those who do not have the Cash App, you email us and we will work that out, basically. Now, what I was saying earlier, you know, we're in the Lenten period, and this will be a Lenten period reasoning. Give thanks to those who've been going through the 40 days and the 40 nights. We're 20 something days right now, so we have basically passed over, or at least at the halfway mark of this nice and wonderful moment of humility and somberness. Not somber really, but you know, well, sober for sure, if you want to put it that way. But personally, for me, I'm definitely an autopilot. I've been on autopilot for maybe 9 days in. And autopilot means as if it's like that's it really. It's there. You are locked in. There's no vibes. It's just all right. It's just a natural vibes that we are locked into. So that is why when it comes to an end, sometimes you're wondering like, wow, you know, should I stop? I would like to continue. And that always happens, eh? That is why you would hear priest Fliego say that when the fasting done, enough ones would come to the father and say, hey, boy, father, the thing, we're so light, we don't just like to go up again, you know. And the father say, all right, man, no worry, man, we're going up again right now. So it's important to understand that science of it, because that science is very clean. That science is very important, because what happens now, you've gone back to the natural self. I always like to tell one that, okay, we call it 40 days of fasting, but technically, when people hear about 40 days of fasting, they usually may think of not eating food. When you read the Bible and you hear people fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, you would more meditate that they're not eating at all for that time frame. So even the Christ, it said that at the end of the 40 days and 40 nights, he was feasting, or was a hunger, something like that, the Old English says, but he wanted something to eat because he come to the end of that period. But our fast, and even the 40-day fast you hear anybody really carry out, is usually just eating once a day, or eating very, very light, or maybe just eating fruits or drinking juice, because you have different levels of fast. And I must say, we didn't really go into that too deep. I don't mean bubble fast now. I'm just talking fast in general. Still, you have different levels of fast. You have water fast. You have people that they just go and they drink water throughout the day, or when they think they need the water and they take in nothing else but the water, maybe for a day, 2 days, or 3 days. That's a water fast. That's a cleansing fast. That's a good fast. I would suggest, if you do a fast like that, give the water a time to fast from the water during the day. Don't just drink it because it's water and you're clean. Give yourself that time. For example, the way that we fast, you wake up in the morning and you hold yourself until midday, and then you drink that water and you begin that cleaning process. you know, and you have some water for lunch and water for dinner, however you carry it out. And if it's warm tea, well, you have tea fasts as well. And then you have juice fasts, where ones would juice the juice. Ones would prefer to have a juicer, or ones would just eat the fruits. You know, there's so many. Then you have a raw food fast, where the person again would just be eating raw foods, you know, throughout the time. It may be once a day. It may be 3 square meals. But you see a person that's not accustomed to eat raw food, they would call it a raw food fast. Now you may say, but it's not a fast. All right. But somebody else will say what we do, that's not a fast. You say, oh, I'm on a fruit fast. What, you fasting from fruits? No, I'm just eating fruit. That's not a fast. That's what they will tell you, because they have reached to a level that when they fast, they fast. You understand? That is why when I hear people refer to the fast, when you fast until 6 in the night, as 6 to 6, I quickly jump in his defense, because I've done that fast. That's not no 6 to 6. You finish fasting at 6 in the evening, you eat and begin your fast at 8 o'clock. That's a heavy fast. You can't just, you know, diminish the standard of that and call that 6 to 6. Yeah, let's get it clear so you have an understanding. So a person now that goes on a 3-day fast or 7-day fast and don't eat nothing at all, or drink, because people do that. Well, you know that. There are people that out there for so long. Look at the Buddha boy. Look at the Buddha boy that sat under the tree. You know, in fact, we can find that. I don't think they can flag us or show you that. The Buddha boy sat under the tree for how 10 months, not eating nothing. I'm gonna show it to you. And just fasting and holding himself. You understand? So a person that has gone to that level and that standard, a person that is of that, you know, capability, even if it's for 7 days, and then you're coming and saying you're on a 40-day fast, yeah? Yeah, man, I only eat once a day. And you're eating a nice meal to it. You have 2 hours to eat. You have 2 hours to eat. You eat a nice warm soup. And then you eat you know, make it, you know, belch it off, whatever. Even before that, you drink your water. Maybe you sip a nice cup of tea to break the fast properly. You drink some green juice. That's how you know, break the fast. Maybe prior to the green juice, you take a little bitters as priest Honorable Kes Westmore advice, and then you drink a green juice. Give it some time. Maybe you have to burn a chalice to catch the structure properly. You drink some nice soup, and then you eat a nice plate of whatever it is, grains and some beans or peas and your greens and veggies, and you eat that down and you humble yourself. That's a serious meal. That's what I do. Yeah, no, I don't play around with it. That's what I eat properly. I break my fast on time. Well, I mean, a few days it kind of got off. You know how it is. But break your fast on time. And just the way I said that a moment ago, that's a proper meal. Now, ones who are firm on fasting, certain monks, and so we look at you and tell you that they ain't fasting. We live that way. And we don't eat all of that food neither when the time comes. The monks, them at Woldeba, I mention them from time to time. They eat once a day at 3 o'clock, not between 3 and 5. They eat once a day at 3 o'clock. And they eat one specific meal, which is known as quaff. I saw a documentary the other day on quaff alone. You understand? So when you understand that high science now, that is something to really look into. That's all they eat, and quaff itself is like it's made from banana, green banana, and the oil from a specific seed, and they beat it up and everything else, and you get that. So I'm just highlighting for you. And even while I'm speaking, I was looking for that documentary I'm speaking of, but I haven't seen it as yet. But I'm just highlighting for you just the whole understanding of fasting then. So just knowing that fasting is a vast thing as well. Fasting is something that has many different dimensions as I'm looking through the jealousy here, the window pain, jealousy and pain. You ever meditate on that? Yeah. Vaughn Benjamin have a song where he mentioned that jealousy. They call it jealousy, the window, something. But anyway, looking through the window, just watching the children in the area, speaking and having a grand time. And jealousy, I do not speak Creole, but there's a mystic with the word jealousy and the window and deep vibration that Vaughn Benjamin put together in his song. So the different levels of the fast, as Bobo Shanti now, as Honorable Kes Westmore would have said, you have that Sabbath fast. That Sabbath fast, which would bring you from the morning until midday. Basically, they have ones that are going through the Lenten period, and that's what they're doing, the Sabbath fast, where they fast until midday. But the real fast is the fasting until midday, and you begin to feast again at 2 o'clock. Drink your water. You do not drink water during the moment of fasting. Many questions have still been coming in concerning the Lenten period, and I don't. Some of them, of course, I don't have the answer for everything, but we've been hoping that we would have had a few more individuals sit with us. And I've said this before, and you may say, so why are you saying it again? Because prior to this, I was promising my audience, this is what we're going to be doing. One of the issues that I wanted to speak about was the concept of the resurrection day, the Good Friday, and the science of the black over the white, or the all white. Now, of course, when I speak to my audience, I'm very, this is some nice ganja here. I'm telling you, you can see that. Mm-hmm. This might be Jaskin Herb said with. Yeah, I think this is Jaskin Herb. Oh, he might be Selassie, yeah, as I said, the video you saw was today. So this is something fresh I received from the farm. I mean, I have samples from different arenas, obviously. But I think this is Jaskin. Chalice talk, man. We're getting straight to the subject that I say we're going to talk about. That's exactly what we do. King Emmanuel VII. Donia Gaja Rastafari. So when you come into Chalice talk, you have to make up your mind that you have time to sit with me and entertaining and razzle dazzle, play some music for you. I mean, I could do that too, nothing wrong. All of that in Chalice talk. It's as if you come and sit with me. I wait till we start to light the pipe. So we grow and flow and keep our vibes together. All right, Rastafari. Praise Selassie. Yeah, Almighty God. Yes, so as I said, those who have ordered their chalice should be on their way thus far. So when we have these chalice talks, man, everybody can pack up the chalice and we can take a jog and meditate. Don't worry, man, we're stepping it up. And we'll be able to incorporate them. At least we go live and communicate different things. So what happens now? As I said, I'm very conscious that the audience, everyone is not Bobo Shanti, everyone is not Rastafari. But because Rastafari, Bobo Shanti order is the gem and the nucleus of the true science of existence, everything that we do must have the relevant science behind of it. Is what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Real thing. So we're speaking of color scheme and color coordination. And some of us as Rastafari, we tend to run away from the color coordination. This is some of the ganja oil that was made at Ras Freeman, but this is a old bottle as such. It was just close by. So the label has been oiled up, but the label is white. Well, it's a white label, quite bright. God bless it. It's 100% natural elements. All right. Yeah. So the color scheme, all of this, even as Ras. So we're going to say, listen, man, whether it's red up or red down, it don't matter. Let us move on. I don't read them kind of talking, I understand why you're saying so, and I agree with the reason why you're saying so. But you don't have to say it like that. To me, that's a cop out. It is important. It's important. It means something. And if you're serious about it, what it tends to do, it makes you research the history properly. So we did a program at least 2 years ago, directly dealing with that understanding of the banners and red up and red down. And I know while I'm speaking, somebody saying, oh, well, if you look at the rainbow, the red always up. And then somebody said, oh, well, rainbow is bigger than the emperor. The emperor come with the red down. So I'm like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I see 2 rainbow already. Oh, well, the king would have put the red up if that's how he wanted it. Oh, well, Emmanuel come with the red up. Oh, well, have your red always on top. And then I mean, it'll go round and round and round forever. But the reality is, it's a very important discussion. We are supposed to be able to discuss this, reason about it. It doesn't have to be argument. It doesn't mean we can't work together. So this is why I'm not quick to say all of that is not important. I mean, very important. Come on, no, come on, Bobo. It's important. But it should not be any stumbling block or some obstacle that we can't get over to make sure that the works go through. That is how I look at them kind of things. Yeah. Now, what I want to do, I mean, that is them. That is why we're supposed to be able to look at each other and say, hey, let us move forward. I spoke of that directly with Brother Prophet Jadaniel. And of course, I think that coming from such a documentary, such a reasoning, I should say, I think we all kind of feeling the spirit for the importance of unity within Rastafari. So as Bobo Shanti now, there is the concept of the resurrection of the Christ being on the Friday. It is these little things here. Bobo Shanti holding Lent. Lenten. When you hear about Lent, is what that sound like? It doesn't sound like the Roman Catholicism, Lent. And what you call it? the concept is, listen to me good, the concept is that Christ was hung on a Tuesday and he didn't die. And according to the rule of the land, if Christ, or if a man was hung and he did die, you're supposed to let the man go. All right. So, but they didn't do that. And they crucified him on the Wednesday. And he was put in the tomb. And he resurrected on the Friday morning to keep his Sabbath. This is Bobo Shanti talking here. So again, and hold on, and this is all celebrated in glee, while the rest of the religious world, specifically the Christian world, is in a mourning and somber mood on Good Friday. So you may say that, listen, when Babylon is saying Christ was crucified, we are saying Christ was resurrected. So they say he crucified the Friday and resurrected the Sunday. But we say, no, it's not so he go. He was put in the tomb the Wednesday and resurrected the Friday. Well, Ross, I telling you, whether it's the Monday, the Wednesday, the Saturday, whichever day, you keeping Lent, you telling me about Good Friday as a Rasta, that sounds very Christian to me. So it's these things that ones of the scholarly persuasion would see, especially ones who are part of it or are a part of it, because there are a lot of, I tell you, within it now. See, a lot of the great books, Diop and Dr. Ben and Van Sertima, we're reading this stuff and we're looking at things differently. But I read them book and I still get a different comprehension than many. Priest Earl, read them books there. I don't know if you listen to Priest Earl speak. I've been on the altar with Priest Earl several times. And I have a mystic spirit on the altar. That's me as a priest. I mean, you're supposed to carry the congregation to different realms. But there's certain standards, you know. There's a standard kind of thing. And I'm good at following a standard and interject where I have to interject my levels. If you study the interview I did with the Honorable Priest Earl, all when he's saying God is the operator, the destroyer, it's three things: the head, the operator, the destroyer, something like that. Them is ancient 5% teachings. You hear I was asking him something about Adam and Eve and he gone into Osiris and Aseta. And I spent time with the man. That new level of understanding is something that he's in strongly. But you need to be able to understand that level of knowledge without making it lopside you to believe that the knowledge and the order that God brought to us, man, is something, some sort of offshoot from Christianity. Because if you didn't know better, man, If you didn't know better, you would look at the Washington Monument and say, hey, that was built, by America. But then you go into Kemet and see something similar and wonder why is Kemet following the Washington Monument, not knowing that the Washington Monument is following the obelisk or the Teke in Kemet. You see, the thing about Rastafari in general, it may be the newest of the orders. Now, hold on. It may be the newest of the religions. Yeah, the religious aspect of Rastafari. Don't run from it. It may be the newest of the theologies there, but it is the oldest of the orders. It looked like it just come. No, it just resurrected. But we humbly take our place. So if you say we got the locks from the Mau, it all right. We ain't gonna fight with you. If you say we got the bingi from the Poco and the Kumani, we don't have no problem. If you say we got the Bible from church, we ain't gonna wrestle with that. It's okay, no problem. Because in reality, historically, we cannot deny none of that. But if you are Rastafari at heart, you know Rastafari is a resurrection of the original order that was given to mankind, straight up. Listen to me. Rastafari that rise up in the 1930s and the full coming together with the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie I. What happened now? We are seeing and observing the ancient order of man and woman returning in this modern time because it was absent. A lot of ancient orders were around. A lot of good, nice, well-in-tuned orders were here. Some devilish orders too, and some disorders as well. But there was a specific order, a true order, the truth, if you want to call it that. The exact way, at least for now, the exact way, because it must grow, the exact way in which a man and a woman should live. That is something to my heart. Whether even before I accepted what I accept, I knew, you can't tell me, it only makes sense that in this cosmic creation, kumina. In this cosmic creation, the being, the source that put everything into existence must have a specific order. There must be a specific way. Whatever it is, if the way is just do what you want, well, that's just the way. But there got to be a way. And I always thought more than likely, this is like you interviewing me now. I always thought more than likely, this must be somewhere in some religion, one of these religions that the world has. Got to be the way. And even if you say, well, it's not a religion, it's this, well, that they'll still class that as a religion, brother. You know what I mean? People call yoga a religion, but I mean, obviously it's not a religion. But anything that is spiritual that could carry to a different realm, after it has been examined long enough by the critics, it will be labeled as a religion, straight up. You know what I mean? And your supreme deity will be called a god. Buddha is a god, eh? And a Buddhist will tell you all day long, we don't worship Buddha. Well, Buddha is their God. Yeah, you understand. It's the same thing even within Rastafari. It's a mystic vibration. So you're following Christian traditions. We need to put away Christianity. So we're going to go to Africa now and teach the Africans about Good Friday and the resurrection of Christ on Good Friday and the what you call it, crucifixion on the Wednesday and all of this kind of stuff. The 11th of September, which is the modern day Ethiopian New Year, is also the day when you recognize the resurrection of Asa. Professor James Small speaks about that. The 11th of September is the day when you recognize the resurrection of Asa, of Osiris. So here we have a character, whether you think it's mythological, whether you think it's allegorical, whether you think it's literal and he existed how many years BC, the point is his resurrection. Whether he existed but he didn't really come back to life is symbolic. Whether he existed and he really came back to life and actually went back into the Orion, because they have different versions, but we're not trying to fight over the versions. The point is the 11th of September, the new year in Ethiopia, interestingly, is the day that is seen as the resurrection of Asa, also known as Osiris. You see the mystics? Yeah. Good Friday and Easter Sunday is something that they do not fall on the same date every year. It has to do with the moon. This Friday after the full moon or new moon or whatever it is, but it's moon business. So it doesn't fall on the same day. It falls on the Friday, but it's not the same date. For example, this year, Good Friday is the 2nd of April. That's not what it was last year. I can't remember what it was, but that's not what it was. It was another date because we're dealing with the moon. So there's some level of science. We're coming off of the equinox. There's a science being worked here. Easter and Good Friday is not just a church holiday. It is science being put together. It definitely has to do with the sun cycle and the balancing of Earth and the spring equinox. That's without a doubt. The age of the Pisces, understanding the biblical Messiah and his connection with the fishes in Old English, but fish in, I guess, New English, plural of fish is fish. But in the Old Bible, you see fishes, but let's just keep it fish. So the age of the Pisces is the age of the fish, astronomically speaking, not even astrologically, astronomically speaking. The age of the Pisces is the age of the fish. And Pisces, this is the 21st day of March that we are coming up to, which is the spring equinox, is the day when the sun is in the constellation of the Pisces. You know, wherever the sun is on the 21st day of March, that is the age that you are in. This is why I say it all the time, we are not in the Aquarius age. And I can add fully as yet. I mean, that's several hundred years. to say you at least balance out 50-50. And we're not guessing, this is not feelings, this is well understanding of the astronomical chart, not the astrological, really, not wrong, not disrespecting astrology, but ancient astronomy really is astronomy with the science of understanding the powers of these elements and the bodies, the heavenly bodies, you know, the power and their meaning, just like what astrology is. It's just that astrology, a lot of what astrology is goes down the horoscope line, you know, the astrobis guide. So we prefer to just stick with ancient astronomy, covers everything that we have in mind. So the Aquarius age, we've done several works on that I'm sure many of you would have seen, where we clearly show, without a doubt, with good understanding, that we are definitely, why am I sharing that? Oh, I wasn't sharing it. That we are definitely not fully in the Aquarius age. In fact, we are still feeding off of the Pisces age. The majority of our energy is from the Pisces age. We are still getting, this was my estimation, at least 65% of the Pisces age energy. So that means it would be 35% of the Aquarius age. So we are already feeling the Aquarius age, if you understand the astronomical clock. But for us to get 50-50, you still have a couple hundred years to go. Remember, the sun moves 1 degree every 72 years. You know, it's a lifespan for many people. Some don't even reach that for the sun just to hit a degree in its 30-degree movements. You know, I did a program once and someone said, well, it can't be so because some constellations are bigger than some. Yes. Oh, I think I addressed it to it. But anyway, let me address it still. That is true. But the energy space within them is the same, 30-degree, all of them. Even though Scorpion is a long constellation, and let's say Aries may be a short constellation. Some of them even lap over each other, but the space allotted to them is 30 degrees. When you do the maths, geometry, with clear understanding. So I'm sure we're still in the Pisces age. If you ask me what age we're in, I would say we're in the Pisces age. If I have to just say one, it's the Pisces age. But the Aquarius age is, we're feeding a lot. We could consider, we can consider ourselves in the Aquarius age already. It's like 1 foot inside and 1 foot out, but the vast majority is still from the Pisces age. That's a fact, and we've shown that already. And that's very important for even what I'm getting into here, because I'm speaking about the E star. The Eastern star is the sun. E star, that's what they call it. And the sun is well positioned at this time. So the sun is a symbol of fertility. The sun is the symbol of life, obviously, as well as the symbol of, God. So when you understand the whole fertility and sunspot cycles, the Olmec people are very good with that. When you understand the sunspot cycles, how they deal with fertility and cut down the fertility within many tribes, and that has been seen in their records. The book, the Tutankhamun, let me see where we are, the book by Maurice Cartier, the super gods, that details that information very good. You could check that up anytime, how different civilizations, had dropped in their fertility. Their records show during the sunspot cycles. I wonder if you follow what I'm saying. Good. So according to the sunspot cycle, the 11-year sunspot cycle, to be more precise, you could see the drop in fertility according to the records of these ancient kingdoms, the Mayans and the Aztecs. And so you were more dealing with, I think he highlighted some kingdoms that were keeping that record, the Acadians or someone's like these as well. So that's a very important thing. The same way you can check the records from the rings of a tree. So that's just showing you how the ancient ones would view the sun. This is very important, eh? Don't think we strain and we're not talking about what we say we're gonna talk about. I don't want to hear this. Well, it's up to you. This is Chalice talk. In fact, let me take a drive. Let me take a drive. Yeah, it's up to you, eh? Feel free. Thanks for my life. They're coming right now. Yeah. Yeah, so Pisces age. Yeah? Fertility and the sun. Coming man. You know what I like to watch it, so I'm taking a good documentary every now and again. Definitely not a movie person. A movie I'm watching is just to decode something. I like listening to them university lectures and boring lectures, and boring professor. Give me a boring professor. That's man, boy, that's like cake and ice cream. Bro. Give me a boring one of them. Make it. Yeah, I love that. Because within all the boredom, so much knowledge. You know, nobody can give me no joke. I despise listening to an academic giving me jokes, trying to make me laugh. I ain't come here to laugh. And if I wanted to laugh, I had nowhere to go. You understand? I came here for the information. So if you really, it helps to be a good speaker when you're delivering information. It does help. It does help. Dead here does kill too. Still a while ago, I lighted my pipe. Maybe somebody said, I ain't watching no more, you stop talking. That's why I purposely stopped talking, to be very honest. And that's why, for those who stayed back, I'm showing you, I like a boring lecture. Listen, don't get me wrong, I want a boring lecture. But if it's filled with jewels, man, give me plenty physics, plenty maths, enough chemistry. Weigh me down with that, enough astronomy. Oh, if it's there, and the rings of Saturn, that's where we are. And the makeup of Io and Ganymede, and the ice geysers on what's our moon, yeah, Titan and these ones. Yeah, that's what I like. Hey, this is Chalice talking. So if you can't take this kind of talk, maybe Chalice talk is not for you. You want shock of the hour. Hey, you can subscribe to the shock of the hour. Eh? Yeah, man, there's music you like, a little documentary, some spies, some animals in the background. Give me a second. Yeah, give me a second. You're with me. Holy Haile Selassie. Chalice talk, man. Soon you'll be able to talk back. Yeah, man, once you take a drive, more power coming again. Something to do. Yeah, man, so Pisces age now. Fertility, the sun. Fish is an interesting thing during the time of Lent. Before I was Bobo Shanti, you would always hear, I never came up in a Roman Catholic family, so I never partake in all Lent, really. And you would always hear, though, of the Lent, that this is a time when you stay away from meats. So the Roman Catholic people, and gonna have a lot of Roman Catholic, institutions still around here. It's a lot of Roman Catholics around, but it's more Anglican though. definitely an Anglican and a Methodist country and Moravian and some of them see there. And so you would know that what they do, they would not eat meats and drink alcohol and so, and they should only eat fish. And I think maybe some other light meat, I don't know, turkey or whatever, but fish is the seed there. Fish is the seed. Okay. Bobo Shanti now, of which you know that many Bobo Shanti have the culture of eating fish. That is not my culture at all. But those who do that are ordered not to eat fish during this time. Interesting. You don't even go around the sea and those kind of things. Okay. So the fish now, remember, is the symbol of the Pisces age, the Christ, and the Christ being the master of the sea and his fisher brethren, you know, fishermen as they call them, Matthew and them other fellows there. And of course, he fed the multitude fish and bread. Fish and bread is very deep. One is the Pisces age, and one is or the Pisces constellation, and one is the Virgin constellation, of which both of them are on both sides of the heavens. Both of them at this time rest on the equator, the celestial equator. That is why the sun is in the Virgin constellation at the other equinox, which is in the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of September. That is known as the fall equinox, autumn, at least in the northern hemisphere. That's spring in the southern hemisphere. That's when the sun is coming out of the Virgin. So she's the house of bread. This is ancient mythology, that the Virgin constellation is the house of bread. I'm making it up. Bethlehem. And the Pisces constellation is the house of fish. I'm not making it up. So it's fish and bread. And they both run the equinoxes and use the powers. That is why even our hikes and so during the equinox time to such a sacred spot. It's so key. Yeah, man. It's not a joke. It is so key. So give thanks to the Christ figure that dwell with us, the Black Christ in flesh. So the Pisces age now, again, the fish is an animal. If you cut a fish open, you see the amount of eggs that it carries. It carries a lot of eggs. Again, the fertility is whole fertility worship and things of that nature. And then when you understand this is why even the Easter bunny and the eggs, it's a fertility cult. Sun worship, it's a fertility cult. That thing with the Nimrod and stuff and the tree cutting down and growing back. There's a lot of fertility. Now, I mean, the fertility is a natural thing. I just explained that the sun itself, for example, is the fertile god. But yet still, it is the sunspot cycle that, according to the records of all of these ancient cultures, shows that during specific sunspot cycle, their fertility drop. That's very key. And all of these cultures dealt with the science of the cycle of the sun. They all revered the Quetzalcoatl or the feathered snake. Interesting again. So we see the importance of that. So the fish naturally is a multiplier. The fish is a very fertile animal. That's why it's important during this time of year. Now, the rabbit and the egg. The rabbit is an extremely fertile animal. They say the rabbit can multiply. There's a joke, I always remember that joke since I was a young boy as such. A lad. You know, why is the rabbit on the typewriter? And you see it on some cartoons and comic strips. You see the rabbit on the typewriter and with the calculator. Why? Because the rabbit is a good multiplier. And and another joke, something about why should the rabbit be the maths teacher? Because the rabbit is a good multiplier. A rabbit is a very fertile animal. So the rabbit brings children fast. Fertility. So this is why Babylon now, the wicked world, gives you a rabbit, a pretty little bunny, and puts an egg in his hand. Because the egg again, which goes back to the same, the Nimrod story and the egg and everything. The egg is the symbol of fertility as well. So I'm showing you that the Eastern Star, the East Star celebration is something that is fashioned off of nature. I'm going to repeat again. The sun, whether they have Easter, Good Friday, whatever they do, that has nothing to do with the sun. The sun don't have nothing to do with that. The sun naturally is in control of fertility. That is without a doubt. Straight up. And sunspot cycles do affect fertility. Some people even say super sunspot cycle morph or mutate a specific race into another race. Different races down the line. Super sunspot cycle, not just ice ages. So there's a lot of power in a sunspot cycle. That's the point. It's just reality. And the time of the year, again, I'm almost kind of recapping. The time of the year, again, is very important. Again, this festivity has to do with the cycle of the moon, but nothing wrong with the moon. It's just that someone whose intention is less than good is picking up on a science that is older than him. So it's not Bobo Shanti following Christianity. Because as that the Nation of Islam have this story, I think is the Honorable Khalid Muhammad, I would have heard with this, or maybe it's Elijah Muhammad. But anyway, truth and lie went for a swim one day. So they took off their clothes, left it on the shore, went into the water, splish, splash, you know what I mean? And while Truth was diving and snorkeling and checking out what's going on, Lie snuck out of the water and put on Truth's clothes. So when Truth noticed that, hey, what's going on here? He ran out of the water and Lie took off. And Truth was running down Lie and say, hey, come, give me back my clothes. And they say the moral of the story is that you have the naked truth running down a well-dressed lie. So you see who's running down who? So again, it is not that Bobo Shanti is following any Christian tradition. I say again, we live around the sea. We live around the sea. Any moment now, when we drive, on the coastline, we're going to smell a certain scent coming from the ocean. Anybody here that, fish on these things around this time? Well, I know from my experience, this is what I know. I'm not a seaman as such, but this is what I know. Any day now, you're going to start getting close to, the Good Friday time. You get the smell coming from the sea. Nobody teach me this. This is what I know. I didn't read it. Dr. This didn't say that. Where's your source? My source is my nostrils. There's a there's a scent that the sea releases during this time. And my conclusion is that it's cleaning out. I've been to other places where during the time I'm there, and that's other islands, I mean, and that's the same vibration I get. So I know for sure, no chemists have to come tell me, no marine biologist can tell me anything. If they tell me, well, the sea is not cleaning out, well, I don't know what the sea doing something, because I can smell it. My point is that's nature. That ain't Roman Catholicism. That's nature. So this science of going through this Lenten period, as it's called, may not be the right term to it. Maybe that term is borrowed too. I can understand that, but that, I mean, as most of you say, man, semantics, all right. Well, if it's semantics, we throw it away. Nothing here have to do with the Pope. I don't care what they do on Ash Wednesday. I don't care what they do on Good Friday, as they call it. And we just utilize the term for real. That's what we said, hey, tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. You know, yeah, ashes and dust and ashes, the Babylon. But we're dealing with the cycle, the first Wednesday after what it is, the new moon, whatever the case is, that's what we are. Because there's a science within it. Coming from the new year, I mean the 7th of February, going into the equinox as well. And of course, our Congress celebration always in between. That's a high science. I don't care who come along. Because remember, they have Merlin and Archimedes and all their astrologers and all their scientists to figure out where to place this and that. As I was saying on the program with Brother Sanet, even previous night, that many cathedrals and even mosques are built over ancient sacred sites. Temples of Dionysus and temples to Nike and temples to Zeus. Even in Kemet, they have Muslim mosque right in the middle of a big ancient temple. The mosque in the middle of the big ancient temple in Kemet. What are you doing there? Because they're harnessing the energy from the earth, really, because that's why the ancient site is there. So they're just building on it and harnessing the energy. That's my point. So whatever you see the wicked world doing, that you see Rastafari doing, is now we following them. And I'm speaking primarily for this order here. It is not we following them. It is them harnessing our energy. So they use certain days, certain days and certain dates, down to the 25th day of December, even up to the new year, and these little festivals that are kept, they have a lot to do with the science of the heavens. So the resurrection day, which is the Good Friday, is the day where we literally consider it the double Sabbath. Double Sabbath means that it is what is known as 2 Sabbath days. So the first Sabbath day would begin from the Thursday evening, just like the Sabbath begins Friday evening. The first Sabbath will begin the Thursday evening and go right into the end of the second Sabbath, which would be the ending of Saturday, the day we call Saturday, going into Saturday night, the regular Sabbath. So it's 2 Sabbaths. It's a double Sabbath. So you gauge yourself now to keep 2 Sabbaths. And it's so interesting that this holy day that we keep, Resurrection Day, is a day that literally corresponds to a holiday that Babylon has, Resurrection Day and Good Friday. So as a double Sabbath now, the Resurrection Day, as I said, there is a mistake, a difference within disorder as it relates to wearing the white or wearing the black over white for the resurrection day. I was really hoping that I would get a chance to get some reasoning on that from different ones, not from no one person, from different ones, specifically ones that would have been very close by during the time of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards at Bull Bay, in the way that we know the king sat with I and I. But at this time, it hasn't manifested to that degree as yet. And of course, I've already given my understanding of it, and that is why for the double Sabbath, I personally wear all white, you know. And even though I still revisit it every now and again, because I speak to different ones and hear their opinion and how it happened and why it's so, and why some wear white alone and why some wear black over white. And some say Jah used to do this, some say Jah used to do that, and then he changed, but he went back, and all kind of things you hear. But listen, I'm not going to try to beat it out here. But I sit, maybe before the Lent is sealed, I will go deeper into it, but I sit and I meditate on it almost every single year. Yeah. Started with the black over white. Yeah. And then I noticed the difference. And I sat and I worked it out. And I just stuck to the white. So for me, resurrection is all right, especially this resurrection here. Because this resurrection now is a real resurrection. This is a celebration day that many Rastafari don't celebrate. The 2nd of April is Good Friday, my brethren and sisters. Listen to me, the man. Good Friday this year is the 2nd of April. Emperor Haile Selassie I became Emperor Tafari. Hear that? He became Emperor Tafari, or Emperor Tafari, on the 2nd of April, 1930. Empress Adito died, and automatically the king took the crown. And he ruled Ethiopia under the name of Emperor Tafari before he was coronated 7 months after. 7 months after, on the 2nd of November. In fact, it is on the 2nd of November that he took the name Haile Selassie. Well, if you understand the history, that was his baptismal name, as far as I understand it. I think I'm correct. So he had the name Haile Selassie for a long, 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 long time. So it was as if it was a secured name, Haile Selassie. But still, the point I'm making is that that wasn't the name yet when he became emperor. It was still secured then, let's put it that way. He was Emperor Tafari. So it's just a mystic, man. You got to look at the mystics. His Majesty doesn't do anything by mistake. It's by mistake. 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 Not mistake. 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 The mystic. Yeah. 7 months. Exactly 7 months. We don't know the power of the number 7. So, and if you want to say in the spiritual realms, he ruled Ethiopia as Emperor Tafari for 7 months. And then at the coronation, he took the name Emperor Haile Selassie. And thereon continued. Man, them things mean a lot. You can't take these things for, granted. For example, let me show you something simple. After the coronation, now you see there's so many pictures of Haile Selassie, so many, and they pop up every day. I'm yet to see a picture of the emperor wearing his crown outside of the coronation, after the coronation specifically. There were some after pictures, and of course the coronation celebration went on for a couple of days, fair enough. And I haven't seen everything there pictures wise. I mean, I haven't seen everything. But outside of that festivity, and to be honest, even outside of that day when he was crowned, but let me just give it room. Outside of that whole coronation festivities and a couple of days after as well, several days after, the emperor is not seen with his crown. If he is, definitely not too often, because I have never seen it. Maybe it's there. If you have seen a picture of the emperor with his crown on his head, his coronation crown on his head, or any kind of crown on his head after he was coronated, I would like to see that. I would like to see that. It must mean something. You may not know what it means, but it means something. It means something. Even when it comes to the anniversary of the coronation of the emperor, he doesn't put back on the robe and the crown. He comes in the military attire, or he comes in the suit and the tie, and that's it. And maybe once or twice, or a little different regalia, but the crown, and the whole kingly garb and garb. The king put that aside. And it must mean something. Obviously, it stands for a lot of humility, sure. But I think it's more than that. It goes beyond just the humbleness of the man. There's great allegory in taking such an action. Talk about putting aside the godly robe to come amongst man. Yeah, man. There's a lot of allegory and symbolism in that. So this is why I'm saying that the period of that 7 month period between him literally becoming emperor and him becoming coronated, because if we believe in the emperor, as many of us do, we should consider the day that he became emperor. Never thought of that. Yes, think about it. Exactly 7 months to the day when he was coronated. Wow, that's interesting too. All right, very good. And this year's resurrection now, Bobo Shanti, this year's resurrection is the 2nd of April, the same day when the emperor became the emperor, which is a day that deserves celebration all unto its own. So in a sense, during this double Sabbath, we will have a double celebration. Interestingly, it may be a triple celebration, a double Sabbath plus the emperorship of Tafari, who was Rastafari and then became Negus, well, not, yes, he became Negus Tafari and then Emperor Tafari. Now, what's do you know the Amharic for emperor, actually? I know, but it's just, well, yeah, that is true. Yeah, very good. Negus Negus. That's the empress. Oh, you're right. I think that is just the term, the King of Kings term. Negus Negus. Negus Negus. Yes. So yeah. Negus Negus Tafari. Interesting, eh? Very, very good. Give thanks to the Honorable Princess for such information. So this just makes this Lent all the more precious and all the more important. And I just pray that I want to just continue to keep the strength through it. And believe me, the blessings of it will definitely be seen. One will reap such a harvest. But of course, I know I've taken much of your moment and much of your time. Those who would have stayed with me to this point, I'm very thankful, because according to the structure of uh, videos and these things, you got to entertain, you got to start your video this way, you got to keep people attention. People only lose attention after 2 minutes, 3 minutes, man, they can say what they want. This is for who it belongs to. So give thanks, at the recording of this going into the Sabbath. Yeah, definitely looking forward to all of those who, as I said, will be joining us for our 3 days hike, double hike really, and of course our tour, our cannabis tour, our cannabis marijuana lecture and tour specifically to Green Castle Hill. Yeah, I mean, I show you Green Castle Hill all the time. So once again, just a little touching on what's taking place at Ras Freeman. Holy Manuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, Sabbath.
Right here with Bingy Skin Man preparing some marijuana ganja oil. This is just one of the methods that is used to prepare the ganja oil. They have different methods and different ways of putting it together. But we have, as I said, Honorable Bingy Skin just preparing it on the natural wood fire. Yes, right here at Ras Freeman. Yes, Bingy Skin, just bless up the people and let them see you.
Yeah, man.
Rastafari.
Selassie, you know?
Give thanks unto you.
Yeah, this island, powerful island, you know?
Mm.
This island, a lot of people use, like when you have cold,
Right.
cold in the lungs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this one help to release the lungs,
Yes, I.
fill up the lungs, you know? And a lot of people really request the oil right now.
Right.
So I decided I will keep on make this island.
And this come from the herb that we planted, right?
Yes.
Ras Freeman.
Yes.
Yeah, give thanks. Life give and the
It's a
keep
very
up.
powerful oil. Even a lady right now who she have breast cancer
Mm.
and she could not move around too much.
Right.
But right now she can move around because of the same oil that she used.
Yes, I. No
And
pause.
even in she garden right now, she penetrate she garden hard where she couldn't do. Everybody believe that she couldn't even go back to work. You know, so right now she in she garden and plant a lot of food just because of the same oil that we make it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I. Rastafari.
A lot of
Healing.
people request it right now. A lot of people even with asthma
Yeah, man.
that even come to I and tell I that the oil work good for them. Like if they get tight chest and anything, they just take a little sip of the oil
Yeah, man.
and in a few seconds
True,
they
man.
just start feeling the relief for the, you know.
Yeah, man. It's the healing of the nation. Give
Yeah,
thanks,
man.
Rastafari. Yes, Allah. Blessed love, man.
Yeah, man. So that's it.
Rastafari. Give thanks. All right. Rastafari live forever. Yeah, Rastafari live forevermore. Yeah, give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, you know? Showing you the beauty of the tree of life in abundance. Give thanks. So that's the yes. Yeah, so give thanks, Honorable Prince. The young trees are coming. One's in the yard doing some works here. This is how it is in the Rastafari community, here in Antigua. Marijuana, ganja, the tree of life. And it's all about industry right about now.
Yeah.